We will now have Township Administrator Anthony Cancro introduce our honorable guest.
Thank you, Carol. Good evening, Happy New Year, and welcome to Plainsboro's 2025 Reorganization Meeting. Tonight's meeting is a very special occasion for three reasons. One, we acknowledge and celebrate Peter Cantu's half-century, 50 years of dedicated public service and leadership, creating a wonderful and thriving community. Two, yes, thank you. Two, the Township Committee tonight will select a new mayor and deputy mayor to lead the challenges of 2025 and beyond. And number three, we are very fortunate, grateful, and honored to have the highest-ranking governmental official in New Jersey joining us to make remarks regarding Mr. Cantu and what it's meant to our town. I'm very pleased to introduce him. He was elected in January of 2018 and re-elected again in 2021 for a second term. And while his term in office, he has focused very tangibly on building a stronger, fairer, and more affordable New Jersey. Please join me in offering him a Plainsboro welcome, the 56th governor of the state of New Jersey, the Honorable Phil Murphy.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Anthony, and he deserves an enormous amount of credit here because he planted the idea in my head that this was going to be a special night and I should scrap any other plans and get to Plainsboro. So I'm honored to be here. I'm honored to be with so many distinguished officials, many elected. I won't go through them by name, but a lot of dear friends and great leaders. And most importantly, the folks to my left, led by the mayor. I'll come back to him in a minute. Members of the Township Committee. It's an honor to be with each and every one of you. And the Cantu family, which is here in size. And God bless you to the First Lady and everybody on the Team C. This is, I'm going to be brief, and I apologize in advance as I have to Peter already, that I wasn't quite able to scrap everything on my dance card tonight, so I have to keep moving, and this time of the year is as you can imagine, with a lot of reorganization meetings like this, it's a busy calendar, but this one's personal, and I want to just tell you why I'm here and why it's personal. When I say it was cold, dark, and lonely for me, literally nobody had ever heard of me. And I reached out on a flyer because I heard some really good things about Peter and his stewardship of this town. And he took a meeting with me, with Bob Schwartz, as I recall. Greta Kiernan was with us. And this is literally one of the very first meetings anybody took with me. And first, most importantly, I was immediately struck by the professionalism, the way this town was run, the approach. I said to Peter afterwards, I said, if I didn't know you were a retired IBM guy, I might have guessed that you were, just the way. It was so really always covered in values that he and the team here have held dearly, and family most importantly, over these many decades, but also just a real pragmatic approach to government and public service. And in so many respects, those are pages out of your playbook that we've tried to rip out and apply to the state of New Jersey over the past 7 years. Some days better than others, but always with that sort of North Star. And so, as I say, this is not just the longest serving mayor in New Jersey, which Peter is, a public servant for 50 years, as he reminded me on the phone a couple of weeks ago. He's not done yet as a public servant. And that is, even though he's handing the baton over to the rookie, Ed Yates, who's only been around here, Ed, since 98? 28 years. Yeah, so everything is measured in multiple dog years in Plainsboro. People have been at this thing a long, long time. But it's for all those reasons, but the very personal ones as well. When Anthony and I went back and forth, it also triggered when it was announced that Peter wasn't going to stand for mayor. I then asked my team, say, who were the next who's the next longest-serving mayor in the state. And you'll be happy to know that it's a three-way tie, but you'll be further happy to know that there are a couple of touchdowns behind you. They have a long way to go to get to a 40 handle and a 50 handle with public service. So on behalf of a grateful state mayor, as a friend, as someone who has admired you from the moment I first heard your name, even before I met you, I bring greetings and respect from the 9.5 million members of your New Jersey family, and I'm honored to be with you and your family and so many friends and distinguished leaders tonight. God bless you for an extraordinary run.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. And I so much appreciate you being here. It's made the night for me among all the other folks that are here and all the things, nice things that people have said. It's really, really important to me to have so many folks and friends and people that have been supporters over the years here tonight. It's interesting you recounted our first meeting. I remember our first meeting clearly. I remember meeting with you on 2 occasions, as a matter of fact. You were wrapped up in a contentious primary battle for the nomination to run for governor. And as you said, you weren't I don't think you were that well known around the state. But when we met, I was so impressed with what you had to say. You spoke about the fact that you wanted to understand my community and the challenges that we had as communities, and you spoke about your plans as to how you were going to address the challenges of the state of New Jersey. What you didn't speak about, and so impressed me, is you never asked for my support. And after 2 meetings, you couldn't stop me from supporting you, frankly. So it was a delight on my part to be able to add my voice to those that supported your initial candidacy and have been a supporter ever since. I think that it should be noted that you've lived up to those promises. You've been a great friend of mine, you've been a great friend of my community, and you've been a great friend to the state of New Jersey. And I think sometimes people overlook the challenges that you face coming into the jobs for both terms. The challenges, the financial challenges of a state, significant financial challenges, and the challenges you faced by the surprise of an epidemic in this state. I can tell you, I think you did a marvelous job in both cases. And my only regret about your service is the fact that there's term limits and I can't be around to support you for another term. Thank you. So again, on behalf of the people of Plainsboro, on behalf of the state of New Jersey, I want to thank you for your service to the state. I want to thank you for your friendship over the years, and I want to thank you for all the things you've done to make this a great state to live in. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I would like to nominate my good friend Ed Yates to be the new mayor of Plainsboro Township.
I'll nominate David Bander as deputy mayor.
I'll second the nomination.